Hello everyone, this is a longer video, actually the longest video I've done, and it is me making 7 art decos. Right now I'm just getting the front back cover, basically the base of the deco. I don't want them too long, I think less than 6 inches length, and then width just a little bit shorter than that. I don't really measure how long they are. And I just had some purple cardstock and I opened it up and decided to use it since a lot of these images that I have are pink, maybe some purple, blue. And then I like to have a couple layers. So instead of using some of my jelly prints for the first base layer, I wanted to do just a decorative paper. That way it's, I don't know, kind of breaks up the pattern a little bit. My jelly prints, they can kind of all run together because I use basically the same colors and patterns and do the same techniques pretty much every time. Then here are some of the jelly prints for the next layer. And these are the images that I had picked to use as my focal points. 2 of these decos are themed for a group, so one's a butterfly and the other one is farm animals. I found my glue stick. Though on this first image, I think I used that glue right there, which can leave a little bit of lines under the image, but it's okay for these. And then, I mean, the glue stick does work good. I'm just not super confident in its, I don't know, sometimes they can kind of come up on whenever I glue paper. I don't want to worry about it now because I'm gonna be sewing it in a second. So I'm gonna sew all these layers down in a little bit. And I did, this is actually sped up, I think 4 times the normal speed. I think that maybe I'll do either regular speed or only 2 times sped up. But only do 1 deco for that, because this was a little bit longer than I anticipated, a little bit more editing than I anticipated. But this is the first time I've done this long of a video. And now I'm just putting down some more layers, and that one piece wasn't as big as I would like, so I just added another piece next to it. And I do usually make my decos in batches like this and do about the same things to them, though I do switch it up depending on, I guess, the focal point or what the colors look like sometimes. And when I'm fussy cutting these images out, if there's like little hair out to the side, I usually just cut through that because I am not very patient with the detail. I mean, it's enough detail to look okay, but I don't worry about the tiny little bits. And that's just a jelly print. I was going to use it for like an art journal, but the paper's really easy to tear, and I don't like using really easy tearable paper from art journals. So just building layers, trying to use the same color in the image or in the paper for the image. And whenever I got the cardstock for that first layer on them, I picked papers that I really don't like that much, like that map, that green map right there under there. My least favorite. And sometimes it's hard to decide which side of the paper I want to use. I really like this one with the blue on that right side, and then she's kind of blue. And this one is for a group swap, and the pig one is also for a group swap, which might be the next image. Yeah. Oh, and I had one more. I had to pick another focal point. These are stickers. I think I got them off Amazon, but they're just cute little stickers. And that's a notebook paper that my son used for school, I think last year, and I jelly print if you do like a translucent-ish color. It looks really neat with the pencil in the background. Alright, so here I am just sewing the borders, and there has been so many times that I did not open the book up and I sewed the covers shut. And when that happens, I tear off the back page and then just mat it on a new front cover. So it adds another layer, but it's so frustrating. I didn't do that with any of these, which I'm glad. I think that all this sewing, so I sew the pages in later, but all this sewing took like 12 minutes. I remember seeing that on the video. And I don't have a very good setup for filming me sewing. Right here I'm like kind of hunched to the side to my right, and my back was hurting a little bit, so I was trying to work around the tripod. Whenever I said the next time I'm using a different tripod kind of thing, but it starts shaking with the table because it's hooked to the table, so I'll just have to figure it out. I would like to do like, I don't know, free form sewing. I don't sew on cloth. The only reason I'd gotten a sewing machine is for paper. So that's all I've ever really sewn is paper. And I love it. It was like a game changer. I have to like keep myself from using the sewing machine on my ATCs, Decos, greeting cards, tags, art journal pages. And I had just, the last time I used it, or the time before that, I had oiled it, so it's working pretty good. I think. I don't know much about it. I just know that it works. I haven't destroyed it yet. But it does work much better after I oil it. They can get to like banging and shaking. I don't know. all the terms for the sewing machine. I think that might be my last one. Yep, okay. This is my favorite part of the whole process. It's after everything's kind of glued down, sewn down, and I get to take markers and chalk sticks and watercolor crayons and paint and just mess it up, basically. Just add a bunch of different colors and marks to it. I love this part. I don't know why I just showed that stapler. Oh yeah, I couldn't find my Tim Holtz little tiny attachment stapler thing. I think one of the kids grabbed it up. And I was going to use that, but I ended up not even using staples on any of them. That's a water-soluble crayon of some sort. And it's just purple paint. A lot of the, pretty much all of them go well with purple. And on this one, when I put it down, that one looks good, but the other one is like the same color of the jelly print paper, because that's probably the same paper for that layer. And I just ended up putting paint over it, so we got purple butterflies. I'm just adding marks and dabs of paint. And on this one, I use a ballpoint pen up at the top, and I don't know, I just love the way it looked. Oh, that was the pen, it had paint on it. And those are little chalk sticks. No, those are Prismacolor color pencil sticks. I do have chalk sticks somewhere, but I think I used it on something else. I remember making those marks thinking, I hope this looks good, and it turned out pretty good. Like a sun around it. And just adding paint and marks. Now, do you prefer to put my marks, or like if I do stencils, I like it over the sewn parts? To me, it just feels like it just comes together better that way. And just a paint marker. That big deco reminds me of Charlotte's Web. When I put this modeling paste on there, I use one that kind of makes it look like there's webbing in the corners. I loved that movie when I was a kid. So this is modeling paste, and I plan to use those stencils to just add some more texture, detail. I was gonna color the modeling paste, but then I just decided to leave it white. And I wanted to overlay it to where it showed up on the front cover, but also traveled to the back cover, and it easily folds. And I can sew right through it too once it dries. And that stuff can be messy. So here's where it looks like there's spider webs around Wilbur. This one turned out pretty good with the butterflies. That stencil, I'm pretty sure I got it from Stencil Girl Stencils. And this one came in a little, like, sweets pack, like at Walmart or somewhere that I picked up. And the butterflies on this one kind of smushed under there. I'm going to have to go back maybe and try to define them or just leave it. It's not really that big of a deal. They still look like butterflies. And it takes a couple hours for that modeling paste to dry. Oh, and here I am just taking leftover modeling paste and putting it on some of my jelly printed papers. And on one of these I kind of press down a little bit on there, which you can do with these texture pastes and modeling pastes, and it'll kind of remove the paste from the center of the image there. And it's a really neat effect. Instead of having opaque butterflies, you have just like an outline of the butterfly or whatever stencil you're using. And here I'm adding the sentiments, and it just says cute on that one. Try to make them make sense, I guess, a little bit, as much sense as they can. But I add them more for how they look. So if it looks good with one, I like the longer ones for one, and then like the shorter ones for like 2 or 3. Or if you have like a long one, then a short one, and then a longer one. Or if it's smaller, you kind of put it to the side. I don't know, it's just the way I like it. I don't know if that made sense. But having a few lines, I think it looks good. But it does have to somewhat make sense. And this one, I was not sure where to put them, and I was only wanting to put one. Then I was like, ooh, that don't look right. I didn't like it with one, so I just added another one. And I think one more. Here, oh yeah, that book. So when there is a space between the binding and the cover on the very spine of it, you can take the pages out and use it as an art journal cover. And then I'm just using the pages here for the pages in my Art Decos. And that's pretty much how I do it. I just line them up in there and cut the excess off. Sometimes I will use some of my jelly prints, but those are a little bit more work because they're different sizes and they're all kind of thrown into the same bin, and searching through it for the right size is, I mean, it's fun sometimes, but sometimes I just want to use something easier, which these book covers or these book pages are the same size, and it's just really easy to do it this way. Next, I will be sewing the pages in, which I find to be the easiest way for me, the easiest and quickest way for me to add pages to my Art Decos. then after I get done sewing them in, I mean, they're pretty much finished. The only thing I need to do is add the information for who it's for, who it's made by, for what reason, and there was like what group is it for, which only 2 of those are for a group. The other ones I think I'm going to put in a private swap with the new with the new Deco swapper in the US. We're going to exchange decos. And then, oh, yep, okay. I'm pretty much done. So I want to thank y'all so much for watching this. This is my first long video, and it was pretty fun. I look forward to making more. But thanks so much. Bye-bye.